wonder if you can buy the vaccine with Bitcoin. I mean, if you can pay for it. I wonder if you can buy it on the dark web.
Dark web, yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, that leads me to that other story about the German prosecutors confiscating that dude's Bitcoin, and now you won't give them the password.
Well, yeah. What's his sentence? Like 2 years. So he's just got to hang around for 2 years,
Yes.
and then he's a rich man.
Yeah. But I see the reason why he got caught was because he installed the Bitcoin mining software in other people's computers.
Yeah.
So he's doing his time, right? He got caught and he went, fair cop.
Yeah. But I mean,
So
how do you get away with
confiscate something? What are you going to confiscate? Something physical? No.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
well, check this out. If the Bitcoin wallet is actually encrypted, they can't actually do anything with it. The only thing that they can do is they can monitor transactions going in and out of the wallet, but they can't actually stop any transactions. So they, like for example, like when the guy is released, if he miraculously remembers the password,
yes,
or the encryption key, he's going to be a very wealthy man.
But I mean, how do they monitor your transactions? Can they do that?
Yeah. They can monitor your Bitcoin wallet, but then like when the guy comes out, he can just transfer it to another encrypted Bitcoin wallet or Bitcoin device, which is a wallet, and then there's nothing you can do. But
I mean, but how do they track it? How do they track it?
Sorry?
How do they track what you're doing with your e-wallet or your cryptocurrency wallet?
But I know they do. Like, so there was a big case where I don't remember, was some guy in the US that managed to transfer do you remember this dark web thing called the Silk Road?
Yes.
So how the Silk Road used to operate used to be like it used to operate in Bitcoin, and they had some reserves to allow transactions. So this guy managed to hey, is that your cat?
Yeah, that's my cat.
I didn't know you're a cat guy.
I am now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
how to
produce a kitten.
This cat is bad because, so like the other day I was a little bit late in feeding it. So you know what it does? It goes out and it finds itself a rat, and brings the rat and leaves it here right next to me and to tell me that it's hungry.
That's clever.
Well, it's definitely the rat killer. Huh? It's the rat killer.
It is really clever.
So hang on, you just bought a house in rat-infested suburb.
Dude, Joburg is rat-infested, full stop.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Dude, there's nothing you can do. It's part of the package, you know. It's like Parktown prawns, you know. You either got them or you don't. Sorry, Oleg, you were talking about something before you got distracted by.
I think the worst case scenario, right, is that like if like obviously the guy genuinely forgot his encryption key, you know.
Yes.
To Bitcoin wallet. That means that, it's done.
Yeah, absolutely. But I wonder what they're going to do going forward because excuse me, because I mean they're talking that there might be almost up to 20% of all Bitcoin that is stranded in wallets. I wonder what they're going to do about that because I mean there's only a finite amount of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
And I would imagine over time that percentage is going to grow and grow and grow. I mean, what's going to happen to that Bitcoin that is not being retrieved?
Nothing's going to happen. It's just going to stay there.
Right. It just means the value can't crash as much.
Well, I suppose so. I mean, does that hold up the value of the currency? The fact that it's got this intrinsic value that no one's got access to,
and it's
in
limited.
theory,
and
it's limited.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, So I'm just curious. I mean, does that mean over time that eventually all Bitcoin might land up stranded?
It's going to be a
I
fair
doubt it.
percentage, right?
I doubt
Is it?
it. But like, I think the reality is that the amount of stranded Bitcoin will increase. I mean, I don't know how it will increase, but I think, generally, if people have substantial, like amounts in Bitcoin wallets, they would have some sort of a backup plan in terms of like where they'd have like an encryption key,
Yes.
either written down or like stored digitally or some sort of backup. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it would be like even 3 types of different backups just in case.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
nobody's just gonna write down an encryption key on a hard drive and then just leave it there. It's like you have to
Well,
be a very
I
special
suppose,
type of
I suppose
individual.
unless you know what it's for, right? I mean, if you see this random number scribbled on a piece of paper, right? You might not
Yeah,
know what it's for. And
I
even though
would
you've
know.
got the key, you still
would.
need to know which account to access and how to
That's true.
access that
That's true.
account. Which
That's true.
wallet
Yeah.
is that? Which wallet is the guy using?
Yeah.
Right?
So just having a key does not help. That's
Yeah.
that's 100%.
Yeah.
so.
I mean,
How many? Sorry, carry on. I was just
no,
going
no,
to
no.
ask a random question. So
Yeah,
the
go
limit
random.
is what? 21 million bitcoins that can be mined total. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
How many do you think we've already mined of that 21 million? Because it's
I'm
not
not
at
too
that
sure.
21 million limit yet.
I don't know. Do you know how much they've mined?
It's not far off. It's about 18.5 million.
Okay.
So we've
Wow.
got not got far to go. And I think the Tesla, well, not Tesla. What's his name?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, and that whole publicity behind that, which has obviously affected the demand, and we've seen the price for Bitcoin shoot up in recent days, weeks.
Holy shit. I think everyone's thanking their lucky stars.
But I think we're getting to that point where the demand is still going to be there because we're now getting bigger companies. I think PayPal was another one, was it, that said they would accept Bitcoin? I could be wrong.
Wow. Yeah.
Uber, right?
Yeah.
And Starbucks, I think, has been around for. Anyway, there's more and more organizations accepting this currency.
Yeah.
So the
yeah.
demand's not going to go away. And when we hit that limit on mining, I think we're going to see another upshot of price.
Mm.
Even Musk was saying what he thought it was going to be worth in 10 years' time.
Mm.
And he reckons in 10 years, his investment now would be worth $1 trillion.
Yes, that's unbelievable, dude.
That's
and I mean,
ridiculous.
just look at the amount of influence that he's got on these kind of things. I mean, Tesla buys, 1.5 billion US dollars worth of Bitcoin. And I mean, the flipping price goes up to $50,000 a Bitcoin. I mean, it's insane
Yeah.
that he's
That
got
was
so
a
much
big- it was a
sway
big
over
purchase
stuff.
though, right?
Eh?
And it was a big purchase for the cryptocurrency that was already having its best records,
Yes.
and that just added another bit. So he was buying them when they were expensive, and there's your influence. Musk, who is one of the richest, if not richest person,
Yeah, he is the richest, yeah.
and if he's buying it at such a high price, he wouldn't necessarily buy it if it wasn't going to have some sort of return.
Yeah.
And that was enough for most people. Bang, let's get on the bandwagon again.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sitting
But I
for a
mean,
few years, forget about my password.
but I mean, just talking in general about his ability to move these kind of things, the power that he's wielding. I mean, does that not concern governments and people around the world? That, I mean, he's got so much control. I don't think he uses it as control, but the reality is that he has the ability to make fundamental changes.
He's more agile than governments, right?
Yeah.
So they'll sit and talk about this for a while on what the possible impacts could be. By the time they actually realize what the impact is, they'll be too slow to do anything about it, if there is anything to do about it.
Yeah.
But they're just, he does what he wants.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, someone's got to throw money at this space exploration.
Well, I suppose there's one way to fund it. Eh? Just to.
Well, guys, can I tell you an interesting fact?
Oh, I
You
don't know.
know,
Your mic's
every
gone
year-
funny again.
Every year,
Oh, there you
right? They halve the amount of Bitcoin that's released.
go.
So it will get progressively harder to mine it.
Yes.
You know. So every year it gets progressively harder.
But the price goes up.
But the price will go up, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So even if you're mining it, it might be harder for you to mine it, but when you do mine it, you're still making more money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But like most of most of the basically upfront capital investments in Bitcoin is actually in energy that requires to mine it, and obviously in the hardware.
Yeah, sure.